Hey chickies, okay, today we are doing a unicorn galaxy. Now the other day this whole thing came about because I went to a store, I saw a picture on a wall and I was inspired by it. I don't know who the artist was. I think it was just a print, to be honest, but I have these decals from Shop Kiki, both a unicorn and I had a deer as well. So I Snapchatted that and I think I Instagram storied it as well, asking what you would prefer, and pretty much overwhelmingly the response was unicorn. So I went with the unicorn. So I really hope you like this one. Let's get into it. Now I'm starting off with a white base on all of my nails. I'm of course using OPI's Alpine Snow. Now there comes a time in every nail video that you need to do some cleanup, so here is your nail cleanup porn for this video. Enjoy. Next, I'm going to be adding my favorite top coat Seche Vite as per usual, and that is basically what I do almost every single time for every single mani. Before I do anything, Seche Vite over the top, just to protect everything. So as I mentioned before, I'm using decals from Shop Kiki. I'll put links in the description box down below as per usual. These are the deer ones, and then I also had these unicorn ones, and I'm kind of happy that I went with the unicorn ones because they were a little bit easier. You'll see why. Now these Shop Kiki decals are very easy to use. You just place them in some water for about 20 seconds, and then once that's done you can slide them off the backing paper. Now I did stuff up my first one, and you'll see in a moment where I completely stuffed up its feet or its hoofs, whatever, doesn't matter. I stuffed it up. So I just cleaned my nail with some isopropyl alcohol and got another one and redid it, and thankfully I did an okay job the second time. Now once the decal's on, I'm adding yet another coat of Seche Vite because I need this area, or at least especially the unicorn, to be completely protected. Now I'm also well aware that I mentioned that I painted all 4 of my nails with OPI's Alpine Snow, but then I changed my mind on my pinky and decided to add a coat of Manglaze Mathis Murder, which is literally my favorite matte black polish. It is completely opaque in one coat. Next, I'm going to be taking my Liquid Palisade Liquid Latex bottle, which has, by the way, Simply Peel liquid latex in it. Now, the reason why I use that bottle is simply because it has a teeny tiny little brush, and that's what I'm going to need for the next step. Now, of course, if you don't have a Liquid Palisade bottle with a teeny tiny brush, you could just use a very cheap, small paintbrush. Do not use the paintbrushes that you like and that you care about, just in case. So what we're going to do is actually paint the liquid latex around the unicorn, not on the unicorn, just around it, because we're just trying to protect the area around the unicorn. I hope that makes sense. Also, don't forget to add a little bit of latex to either the skin at the top of your nail, like on the skin around your nail, or just underneath the tip of your nail so that you have something to pull up from. So next I'm going to be taking 3 polishes from iScream Nails, a purple, a blue and a pink, and I'm also going to be using a little bit more OPI Alpine Snow. Also going to be using some tiny little pieces of ripped up sponge and my fancy tweezers, which I got from eBay for like 50 cents, so we're really cheap. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and create a galaxy inside this unicorn. So that's the plan. I'm not 100% sure it worked out as well as I thought it was going to, but either way, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, it's okay, everything's fine. I probably should have started off with a little bit of white rather than going straight in with the purple, because that would have made the colors a little more vibrant. So if I had it to do over again, which I'm not going to do, I definitely would have done it that way. However, having said that, I wasn't terribly upset with how it came out. Bearing in mind that it's a very small surface that we're working with, like just the unicorn in relation to the galaxy itself. And basically doing a galaxy on anything in any area, it's just basically dabbing paint or polish onto a surface, and because the polish is so thin that we're applying, it really makes no difference how much or how many times you dab that polish onto that area. It really doesn't. I'm even coming back in with a little bit of black, which I failed to mention earlier, because I needed some areas to stay black, obviously. The next step, I decided to use the toothbrush method to create the teeny tiny little stars, because I knew that they needed to be really small. I'm using white acrylic craft paint for this, but I did make a mistake. I had the toothbrush too close to my nail, and I ended up with splatters rather than teeny tiny little dots of white paint. So because it's white acrylic craft paint, I wiped it off. Unfortunately, I wiped a little bit of the liquid latex off from around the unicorn, but because I was just using white paint, it didn't really make a difference because the background's white anyway. So now, yeah, excuses. Once all of that is complete and you're happy with your galaxy, you can then take off the liquid latex from around, or off, like all of it, take it all off. And then you're hopefully left with a unicorn that looks like it has a galaxy inside it. At least that's the plan. That was the plan. Before adding a top coat, I do need to do a little bit more cleanup. I am actually using my large cleanup brush. This is the size 3, it's a 3/8 Royal Majestic brush. It's still the 4160, but I had to retire my old one, my old smaller one. I'm still using another smaller one. I've got like a few of them, but I sent my favorite small one to someone else for a specific reason, which hopefully will become, well, like I'll be able to tell you about it later. But anyway, I sent that away. Boo-hoo. But I quite like the large one as well. The 3/8 size is actually pretty good. So I'm just taking off the acrylic craft paint from around my nail, especially on the bits that were actually on my nail, because I don't want that to get trapped underneath my beautiful Seche Vite top coat. Now, this is going to seem strange, because after I had top coated with my wonderful Seche Vite, I decided to then go back in and add a little starburst star and a comet to this unicorn. So I probably would have, if I had have thought about it earlier, I would have done this before Seche Viting, but I didn't. So yeah, I do that quite often. Now the last step was to add the galaxy to the pinky nail, and it's basically exactly the same way you would normally add a galaxy, just by dabbing using small sponges, and I used exactly the same polishes that I used for the galaxy inside the unicorn. Once all of that was done, I went ahead and added my favorite top coat, of course, Seche Vite. Now, something I failed to mention earlier, I did mattify all the white nails using Bow Polish's matte nail polish top coat thing. And that's it for this one. I really hope you liked it. I love how it turned out. I would have really liked to have seen the deer one as well, but I'm kind of happy that I chose that you chose the unicorn one instead. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye, chickies. Oh, and thank you for subscribing, and thanks for that delicious thumbs up. Oh, and don't forget to go and watch my secret. I've got this fancy outro card thing now, so I have to show you my previous video, and hope that you'll go and watch that as well after you've watched this one. Also, don't forget to follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook. I'm Oh My Gosh Polish on absolutely everything. I was like an early adopter of everything, so I've got my name on pretty much everything except for Snapchat, which is Oh My Gosh Polish 1. Anyway, I'm going now. Bye.